She deserved it. Now it gives me, we're coming to the last honoree, and then we're going to have Simone Shameen. The last honoree is for excellence in performance, and I have the honor and privilege to introduce that person because she is like a sister to me. Many of you know Maysoon Zayid. If you don't, you're in for a treat. Maysoon is actually, I met Maysoon 11 years ago. She was my first Arab friend. I'm not kidding. All my friends before that were white people. They had names like Monica and Chandler and Joey. But then I have Maysoon. And now Maysoon is like my sister. She is an amazing comedian and an inspirational person in her work as activism. If you don't know her, you might not be aware, and I often forget, frankly, that she has cerebral palsy. But you always forget that because to me, she's like a lion. She's not at all in any way disabled. She's the most able person I know with cerebral palsy or not. She does work, not only do we produce the New York Arab American Comedy Festival for the last 8 years together, which she gets no pay for, which she made sure I tell people that. Neither do I get paid, but whatever. She created Maysoon's Kids in Palestine to help wounded and disabled Palestinian children, which now provides scholarships to children between kindergarten and 12th grade so they can go to mainstream private schools, which is very unique there because no other school or UNERA will take them. She also helps find homes for Palestinian orphans, including one in her own home coming up in the future, inshallah, what she's doing. She's partnered to build accessible playgrounds for children with disabilities. And she is, at the end of the day, a hilarious comedian. She's performed across the United States. She's performed across the Middle East. Well, I've had the good fortune of touring with her in the Arabs Gone Wild tour. We had another tour, a new one, a documentary called The Muslims Are Coming, which she's in that as well. She's been featured on numerous TV shows from PBS, the Comedy Central. You can see her every week now on Keith Olbermann's new show on Current TV called Countdown with Keith Olbermann. Before she accepts her award, you're in for a special treat because she's going to perform a little comedy for everyone. So now please, a big welcome for our final honoree and performing for you, Maysoon Zayid. They know you. They actually like you.
Enjoy my set while you're sitting leering at me. Okay. Thank you. All right. Perfect. Excuse me, guy. You didn't do your job at all. This is just like, where was this made? Egypt? What's going on here? Okay. Thank you. All right, I've been waiting to say this all night. How about a round of applause for Dean Obeidallah? Hi, guys. As Dean said, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Maysoon Zayid, and I've known Dean, like he said, since I started comedy. I met him at my third comedy show, and since we've been working together, he's always like, Maysoon, she's my sister. And this really, really upsets my father. Because, you know, the first time he ever saw Dean on stage, Dean introduced me, and he's like, she's my sister, give it up for Maysoon Zayid. And my dad came up to me, and he's like, I never touched his mother, never! So it's more like a blood brother thing. And Dean was actually my best man at my wedding, because I got married. I know. For those of you who don't know me, I was 33 and single. It was my Jesus year. I figured I either had to get married or crucified, kind of the same thing. And so I went to Gaza and caught myself a husband. The reason I went to Gaza, of course, was because it's the easiest place to catch a husband. They have no place to run. It was very easy. So I decided to get married, and Dean was my witness. Not only was he my best man, but he was the witness of my actual Muslim ceremony. And when we did the ceremony, I don't know if you guys know this, but the word Deen means religion in Arabic. So when we did my Muslim ceremony, the dude doing it asked me, do you want it in English or in Arabic? And I said English because, this is important, I want to understand. And he did the whole ceremony in English except for one word, Deen. So we're sitting there at this, I'm getting married, right, to this guy that I bought in Gaza. And I'm like, put away the tent. And I'll call him a preacher, was going, Deen is the most important thing in your life. Deen is your number one love. And he thought I had trapped him. He was like, no, it's not me. No, it's true. It's funny. No, I really did get married, and it's weird because, the last ATFP that I did, and by the way, I've been here for every single one at some point. Yeah, every single one. Ziyad and Naila owe me like $10,000 in dresses. I'm just saying. I've been here since the first one, and last year I was here 6 days before my wedding, and now I'm here 6 days before my anniversary because I actually got married. And it's really weird because whenever anyone else gets married, people say what? Congratulations. And when I got married, people went, really? It was like this really shocking. I'm like, oh my God, you're shocked that a poor refugee with no visa married me. Okay, yay. Yeah, but it was really interesting getting married because I was born and raised in New Jersey. Where are my New Jersey people at? Yeah, I was born and raised in New Jersey, and my best friends are Italian Catholic girls. And my friends were in shock when I got married because there's a little bit of a problem, and that is Arab girls do not date. We get engaged. So I went to Palestine single, and I came back married. And so my friends staged an intervention. And I need to tell you a little bit about my best friend, Tina. My best friend, Tina, I've known since I was 5 years old. And Tina cannot seem to wrap her brain around Palestine. She doesn't get it. So every year I go to Palestine at Christmas to work with the kids. And Tina would come up to me and go, can you explain something to me? Can you explain who the heck goes to Pakistan for Christmas? And I'm like, Tina, I'm going to Palestine. And she's like, yeah, again, who goes to Palestine for Christmas? I go, I don't know. Mary and Joseph? And she's like, what are you talking about? I go, Tina, Jesus was born in Palestine. She goes, no, he wasn't. He was born at the Vatican, stupid. So my best friend Tina, when I came home engaged, about to get married, freaked out. And so she decided to stage an intervention. And she gathered all of my girlfriends, and they trapped me in a room. And she was like, Maysoon, you are a free American woman, and you do not have to have an arranged marriage. And I was like, Tina, I arranged it. And so she looks at me and she's like, oh, I know how this ends. I know how this ends. This ends with you in a burqa screaming, not without my daughter. And I was like, T, if I'm wearing a burqa, my daughter is the least of my problems. Not really working on that one. Yeah. But the whole marriage thing is really amazing. I had no idea it would be such torture. And I think it's like a trick by married people to get, they show you the gifts and the white dress, and you're like, woo, and then you're married, and you're like, no. Yeah. But one of the most interesting things was, before I got married, people were obsessed with me getting married. They were like, Maysoon, when are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? Just marry your cousin, Adi Ikhtir. Just marry him. And I'm like, he already has 3 wives. And then, so when I got married, I was really excited that people were finally going to stop nagging me and stop saying, now I have a new problem. What do people say to me day and night? When are you getting pregnant? Are you knocked up? You're looking fat. Are you pregnant? When are you getting pregnant? Allah ya'awad alayk, get pregnant, right? But here's the thing. I can't get pregnant because if I do, I'll die. Yeah, I'll just die. Yeah, no, I'll die. It's bad. No, I know. Palestinians are used to it, but it's not my thing. But it's nothing to feel sad about because I get to adopt, which is great because I can make sure it's not fugly. And I like that. But there's one person who I can't get to understand this concept, and that is my mother-in-law. By round of applause, who has an Arab mother-in-law? Round of applause. Who is an Arab mother-in-law? You can just screech or make some sort of disturbing noise. Arab mother-in-laws, I am talking to you right now. I understand that your son's name is Muhammad, but that does not make him a prophet. My mother-in-law is driving me crazy. Somebody taught this woman how to use Skype. And by the way, I made sure she's never getting a visa to this country. As soon as my husband got here, I called up Homeland Security. I was like, she's definitely one of them. Just them. I don't know who you hate the most. She's one of them. But she won't stop. And so all the time she's like, come on, Habibti, have a baby. Open your legs, have a baby, have a baby. Habibti, just, have a baby. So finally I looked at her, I was like, Auntie, which is what you call a monster. Auntie, I said, I can't have a kid, it'll kill me. And she looked at me and she went, just try once. So it's been a very long night. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I do want to take a second to acknowledge and admire and appreciate my fellow nominees. I want to start with Maha Fresh. My God, you're my new idol. You are you're mind-blowing. You're amazing. You're kind of like the Arabic Angelina Jolie, but not a homewrecker and way hotter. And then, of course, there's my darling Nawaf. Nawaf, I am proud of you, but at the same time, I'm bitter. Calligraphy had always been my dream, but it wasn't in the cards. So, mashallah alik. And then, of course, there is Hanan. And Hanan Munayyer has a very interesting role in me being here tonight because she gave birth to me. So how about a round of applause for Hanan? Hanan she's not my biological mother, although I keep asking God for her to be. And the way that I met Hanan was when I graduated. I went to Arizona State University, the whitest, drunkest, date rapiest school in the country. And when I graduated, I wanted to catch an Arab husband. So I went to Hanan because she was throwing like an Arab party. And I called her up and I was like, hey, can I have a ticket? I need a husband. She said yes. And if I'm the first Arab that Dean met, Hanan was the first Arab activist I ever met. So thank you, Mama. And I will never hold it against you that you left me to die on the bridge. That's between you and I. And then, of course, my final joke is my tradition, whether I'm in a club in New York City or at ATFP with my other foster family, Naila and Zayid, who literally let me show up at any time of day and be like, I'm homeless. And they're like, we're used to refugees. Come in, Habibti, come in. Adila Allah. My tradition is always that I always end in an Arabic joke. Before my Arabic joke, I would just like to say a sincere thank you. I would like to begin by saying thank you to Dean Obeidallah for taking time out of what I know is a busy schedule because I live on the same schedule. Having him come here and honor me is the next best thing to having my dad here. So thank you so much, Dean, for being amazing. We would not have the Arab Commie movement without him. I'm glad that I suckered you into this world. I would also like to thank the ATFP for everything that they've done for me. And I want to talk about the ATFP. A lot of people give the ATFP a hard time. A lot of people ask me, Maysoon, why do you do these galas year after year after year? And the reason that they ask me is because my politics are not necessarily the exact same politics as Zayid's. He's a two-stater, I'm a one-stater. You know, he's blue state, I'm red state. It's all the same thing. But the reason that I do these galas every single year is because the first time Zayid ever saw me do comedy, I had something that made him want to kill me. And the next year, he invited me back. And every single year, ATFP has given me a stage, a mic, and freedom to say anything I want. And that is my dream for Palestine, that the people in Palestine have the ability to agree, to dissent, to object, to disagree, to find common ground. And the reason I'm here every single year is, yes, we may all have different opinions, but we agree completely and sincerely on one thing. Palestinians deserve equal rights. They deserve freedom, and it's time to do it now. So, can I do my last joke in Arabic? No, I need more than that. Can I do my last joke in Arabic? Okay. My last joke, of course, is dedicated to the Arab Spring. حسني مبارك راح على حمام تركي. تعرفوا الحمام التركي. راح وغسلوا ودهشوا ولمعوا وطلعوا وراح على الزلمة وقال له قديش؟ والزلمة قال له 10 جنيه. قال ويل أحسن حمام في حياتي وبس 10 جنيه. قال له قال والله غير أودي لك ابني بكرة. ثاني يوم أجا جمال حمموه نظفوه دهشوا لمعوه طلعوه. سأل الزلمة قديش؟ الزلمة قال له 10,000 جنيه. قال له والله عليك أجا أبوي امبارح وقلت له 10 جنيه كيف أنا 10,000؟ والزلمة طلع على جمال وقال له بس أنت 1000 مرة أوسخ من أبوك. My name is Maysoon Zayid. Next year in Jerusalem, inshallah, Washington, D.C. I have to do this. No.
Maysoon Zayid, everyone. Come on, that's Maysoon Zayid. We want to thank all the awardees and presenters. And now the final selection is going to be a special musical performance from a world-renowned performer who most of you know, and if you don't, you're going to love, Simone Shaheen. He's internationally acclaimed virtuoso on the oud and violin, one of the most significant Arab musicians, performers, and composers of his generation. Simone's work incorporates and reflects a legacy of Arabic music while it forges ahead to new frontiers, embracing many different styles in the process. He was recognized in 1994 by the prestigious National Heritage Award at the White House. He's been a great friend to ATFP, performing the first year at Busboy and Poets, all the way through the hotels and now at the Ritz-Carlton. He was honored in 2008 at ATFP for his excellence in the arts. Like all the other speakers and performers at the gala, you can read his full biography in the program. Please join me in giving a tremendously big welcome for Simone Shaheen and Contara, everyone, his ensemble.